Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I literally tried to film this video yesterday, but it was super windy outside, the audio sounded like trash, and yesterday was just not a very good day for me, so today is a new day, and we will be filming journal entry number dos today. So, I'm just gonna get right into it, no time for dilly-dally. This is called The Only Person in the Crowd. I wrote this June 12th at 6:20 p.m. 2022. I sometimes feel like I'm the only person in the world who genuinely continues to fail when it comes to having relationships with other people. To be fair, I'm not the most perfect person, but literally nobody is, so that can't be why. I don't even want to be the type to wallow in self-pity, and most days I try to ignore this feeling, but it's always there. I used to think it was because I lack the skill of being able to grow, but now that I'm constantly growing and becoming a better version of myself, I now know that that's not the issue anymore either. It's hard to constantly be optimistic that good relationships are to come when everyone around you seems to have it all figured out, and you guys are the same age and in the same environment. Whenever I catch myself feeling this way, I always have the biggest reality check when someone opens up about how they once or still feel the same way, or even when I start to notice that the relationships that I aspire to have, my peers don't even have. To be quite honest, I'd feel way less alone and disconnected from my peers if they were to just be more transparent. Everyone is just putting on a facade and pretending that their life is perfect, but I can't shame them because I do the same thing. Sometimes I feel like if I share my imperfections with the world, my worth won't be as high. But then again, why am I wondering about what other people think I'm worth? What I continue to learn and work on is that knowing my worth and still continuing to accept a penny less is what will continue to make me feel this way. To the person reading this, nobody will ever give you what you're worth if you keep letting them hold a place in your life when they're clearly falling short. You have to be content with the fact that you have to let people go if they aren't doing right by you. If they're trying, then maybe that's an exception, but you can only try for so long until it's an empty promise. Just know that the more you accept these kinds of people, the more people just like them will keep coming into your life. It's honestly a learning curve. You're going to fail and get hurt, but that's okay because most people do. I do. All you can do is try a little harder every day to leave those kinds of people at bay. So, that was the end of that journal entry. Kind of where my mind is at when I read this was, it's very hard being in an environment where people feel like they can't authentically be themselves. And when I say that, I mean, even when you go on social media, like my generation especially, I know social media, I don't want to say it's going to ruin us because it does help us in so many ways, but it's kind of ruining us in the sense that everybody is able to show highlights of their life every day 24/7, and it's giving the illusion that everybody's life is so good. So when you constantly see all these positive images, you start to question, well, am I not doing enough, and is that why I'm not successful? Or you start to question, like, wow, like everybody else has such a great life and I don't. Like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong to not have the life that other people have? And me myself being an undecided student, like coming to college, I definitely like feel isolated. And I was gonna say I feel isolated, but I honestly still do feel isolated because it's really hard to like find your community and find your group. And I don't want to necessarily say I still haven't found my people, but I feel like I'm constantly still looking for people who I feel like I can belong with. It's just really hard to look at everybody else who already has a major and already has like certain parts of their life figured out and I don't. And I feel like it would be easier for me if everybody was transparent about like what was going on in their life. Like everybody just puts on a facade that they're so happy, they have everything figured out, but they don't. And all that putting a facade on does is just make everybody else feel like they also have to put on a facade. So now everybody else is just walking around in their shells of themselves. Like none of these people are authentically enacting themselves. And even sometimes I feel that. Like I feel like I'm more so the happy-go-lucky friend. So when I do have my bad days and, you know, when I'm not feeling so hot, I feel like I kind of have to mask that emotion because if people see me, you know, being vulnerable and see me when I'm, you know, not the happy-go-lucky girl, I feel like that kind of lessens my worth. And it's honestly really hard to feel like you're worth something when you're so vulnerable with somebody. Like, I mean, I definitely have days where I could literally be having a full mental breakdown, and then I walk into the room with my roommate, I put a smile on my face, and I talk to her as if nothing is happening. And it's honestly like breaking my heart that I feel like I have to put on a facade to everybody and pretend that I'm something that I'm not. I do like to think that I am a happy-go-lucky girl, but like I feel like there's different elements to me, but I don't feel comfortable sharing that to everybody because, you know, then that kind of leaves people to be able to judge me, and I don't really like to be judged or to feel judged. And I feel like that's like kind of majority of people's thoughts. Don't want to speak for the whole world, but I know a lot of people that feel that way, but they'll only say it secretly. They will never openly say it. I want my videos to show people that it's okay to be vulnerable, because when you're vulnerable and you share your story, other people are going to feel vulnerable enough to share their stories as well. Honestly, it's just easy to fall into the pit of you're just not doing enough, especially at the age that I am. Like, I'm literally 18. I'm a freshman in college, and I'm still figuring my life out, but sometimes I feel like I have a clock on me, and I feel like my time is running out. And then sometimes I have the realization, like, I'm literally 18. I'm a freshman in college. I literally have so much time to achieve what I want. But I also don't want to think of that time as like an excuse to put off things that I should be doing right now. So what I've been trying to do is just like little by little, I'm just working myself up to accomplish little goals to make me feel like I am doing something. And about the part where I was speaking about your worth, it's a very bad habit that I have to allow other people to make me question what I'm worth. And that's something that I've constantly been working on and trying to correct, because I feel like it's just really easy to fall into the trap of listening to people's judgment of who you are as a person and then thinking to yourself, well, maybe I'm not that great. Maybe I shouldn't be asking for so much from another person, because am I even worth that? And that's something that I've been thinking, like, I need to stop letting people make me question like what my worth is as a person. Like, a lot of times I think about the fact that all those friendships that I've seen or relationships that I've seen on social media specifically, like, they glamorize their relationship. They make it seem like they're perfect. You see the gifts, you see the holding hands, you see the kisses, you see all of that. And then, like, you find out they're cheating on each other, and it's like, ooh. Or you see these big friend groups, and then you realize that they all secretly hate each other, or they all have animosity towards each other. I just feel like I want to let people know that it's okay if you feel like you don't have everything figured out. Like, there's no plan to this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no checklist that's saying this is this. You'll be successful. Everybody has their own plan. Everybody has their own timeline. Everybody is living their own separate life. So don't look at another 18-year-old and see, well, they doing this, they doing that, they doing this. That's not your life. That's their life to live, and everybody's on different timing. And I feel like that's something I'm having a really hard time understanding, that, like, it might not be my time to have those connections that I really want, and that's something that you can't force. That's something you want to come naturally. And even when it comes to my career, like, day by day, I'm just constantly figuring myself out, and it's okay. I'm literally 18. I still have time to figure myself out. And honestly, you're never gonna stop figuring yourself out. No matter if you're 18 like me or if you're like freaking 70. Every day, you're probably still like learning more about yourself or learning more about the world. Because as my dad says, quote my father, the day that you stop learning is the day that you start dying. So like every single day, there's going to be new knowledge that you acquire. There's going to be new things that you learn. And take those little things and just cherish that. It's a part of being human. It's a part of existing. Like, everybody's not always going to know what the fuck they're doing, and it's okay not to know what you're doing. I wish that more people were transparent about what they're going through, because so many people don't know what they're doing. So many people feel lost, and so many people are faking it and acting like they know what they're going to do. They know what their next step is, and they don't. Even, like, all these friendships that I'm seeing around me, like, it makes me feel bad that even, like, 5 months, 6 months into school, I mean, how many friends could I really say I have? But then I think to myself, like, everybody's journey is different. And I'm looking at all these friend groups that develop so quickly in a 5-month span. And those friendships might not even be the friendships that I'm looking for. So I just have to realize that within time, as long as I'm continuing to try to be a better person and be a better version of me every single day, I'd like to have faith in the world and the universe and, the way that things work. And if you believe in God, I would like to have faith that as long as every day I wake up and I think to be a better version of myself and I actively try to work towards my goals, that eventually I will get what I'm searching for. And I don't want to say have life figured out, because you never necessarily will have life figured out, but I feel like I will come to a really good point if you know what I mean. A really good like standstill where I feel content with my life and I feel like I'm not searching for something, or I'm not looking for something, or I'm not trying to figure something out. I'm content with what I have. And I feel like that's what everybody needs to know. Like it's okay to work through that process, to figure out what you want, to look around. And like when you're in the midst of doing this, like it's okay. But that is all I have for you guys today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys have any video suggestions, leave them down below. And that is all I have today for you guys. Bye.